Remember, like, subscribe, and again, I'm only answering subscriber comments. 3 tips for salmon fly fishing, or basically some of them can be used in any type of fly fishing. Number one, if I'm going to fish a beat, I'm going to start and I know there are fish there. What I will do is when I'm tying on my fly, I'll put my sink tip into the water. So that's basically acclimatizing my sink tip to water, allowing it to uh, basically absorb water so that when I'm casting, it's actually fishing straight away. It's the exact same when I do with the fly. The fly I'll wet and I'll shape it so that it'll basically start fishing straight away. I see a lot of people just go in with dry fly. Basically, it's a fly, it's dry, they just throw it out there and they expect it to work. Now, if you're in an environment where you can start fishing 100 yards or 50 yards above where the pool is, that's fine. By the time you get to the pool, the line will be ready, the fly will be wet enough, it will fish perfectly. But if you don't have that luxury, I would stick, when I'm tying the fly on, I'll put the actual sink tip and fly line into the water, let it absorb, and then what I'll do is I'll tie the fly, I'll again put him in the water and I'll shape him so that when I'm fishing, it's all from part one. The moment I start, I'm fishing well. Number two, for once I'm fly fishing with either shooting heads or switch rods or whatever, what I will do is I'll use the permanent marker to mark the changeover between running line and the shooting head. Some of the colours they're using these days, you can't see them. So there could be a light green and an olive or a light green and a yellow. It's very hard, especially in low light. So what I'll do is that the part that hangs over the top of the rod, just as the shooting head starts, I'll mark that. And then the part I hold in my hand, just by the reel, I'll mark that. So I have two perfect black markings. So when I'm bringing the line in bad light conditions or in rain or whatever, I can see the two marks coming and I'll know exactly how to recast. So the casting stroke will always be perfect. But I see some people, they have to raise the rod up to find out where the transition is. The way I do it, there's no mistakes. It's basically easy fishing. And the easier you make your salmon fishing, the more you fish. Now, number three, if you're lucky to catch a salmon, I'll always play my fish as much as I can above me. Because then he's fighting you, and he's fighting the current. But if you have him below you, you're fighting him and the current. So even when I'm landing my fish, I will allow the fish to come in once, allow it. When they come into shallow water, they get nervous and they'll move back out. So I'll allow him to go back out. But then I'll do it again and I'll just run him in circles, probably once, maybe twice. And if I feel that he'll do it then the third time, I'll beach the fish. Now a lot of people use nets, that's fine. I don't. I find that nets can do a lot more damage than good to a fish, unless you're using a really good rubber net. Maybe then. But in my estimation, anybody who's actually playing a salmon, the easiest way to land a salmon is always above you, because you can walk to the fish. If you bring the fish in below you, as you walk to the fish, he's in the current, he'll head off downstream. So it's easier to walk to a fish above you than it is to walk to a fish below you. Okay, so there's my 3 tips. And as I said, remember, like, subscribe, and again, I'm only answering subscriber comments. Thank you.